beautiful good morning to you, our lovely viewers. Welcome to the weekly gospel. And I'm your host, Amazing Katamanda. I'm always on your TV screens every Saturdays at 10:45, and we're here to give you nothing but the best when it comes to preaching the gospel. And today I have something very interesting. I have a book with me, and I have the author in studio with me. And of course, they just have a lot of programs that they have lined up, and we'll just be talking about that because you know anything that involves Christ in here we're passionate about, and we go big on it. But anyway, I don't want to waste much of your time. For now, I am just going to show you a video that you have never seen anywhere before, and it was done by Promise Sonda. And in this one, okay, let's just go to the video. I don't want to talk much. Let's get to that video. We'll see you on the other side.
Kila twende babiri ubushimbe bwaryafya Ika twende babiri Yesu niwende kabila Kila twende babiri ubulofwa bwaryafya Ika twende babiri Yesu niwende kabila Kila twende babiri Chinwe chalo chalyafya Ika twende babiri Yesu niwende kabila We Yesu niwende kabila Yesu We Yesu niwende kabila We Yesu Yesu When on the beatbox.
When you talk about beautiful videos, you cannot afford to avoid the name Kamne TV. Every time you see good videos, you know Kamne TV is involved because we are the best when it comes to giving you local gospel music videos. I hope that you enjoyed that video from Promise Musonda, the troublemaker himself. But anyway, today it's not about him, but that his new video, and we have just premiered it. And of course, today I said earlier that I am joined by gentlemen or a gentleman. There are the three of them, but the author of this book, Missing Link, which is a very interesting title of the book. And of course, there is a whole lot that they have planned, but it's not in my place to say anything whatsoever. This is why I have invited him to come in the studios and just explain to us what the Missing Link is all about. And I'm talking about none other than I wanted to say Mr. Nyirongo, but anyway, we can't be formal. On this show, it's all about having fun and everything. So, Godwin Nyirongo, that's his name, the author of this book. You're welcome. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much, Katamanda.
You're welcome.
I'm so excited to be here.
I'm also excited having you here. And of course, I also have Promise Musonda, the troublemaker himself, my brother from another mother, and also face that is not forgotten. This man is always supportive. When it comes to upcoming artists, he's really putting in his level best. He's really going all out when it comes to, just building a bridge for the upcoming as well as the established, just, bridging a gap between the two. He's doing the most. So thank you so very much, Pastor Joshua. We appreciate you, and thank you for joining us this morning. You're welcome.
Yeah, I'm so happy to be here. I've actually brought Promise along. I said, no, I can't leave you.
Okay.
Awesome.
Awesome. Today it's not about you. Today it's not about you. Today we're celebrating this book, which is The Missing Link. And it's not officially launched. So it will be launched on a certain date that we'll find out from the author himself. So before we can actually just find out when it will be launched and all those details, let's just get to know the inspiration behind the title Missing Link.
Awesome.
Yes. Awesome. Can you tell us more about the Missing Link?
Yeah, beautiful. Awesome question. The Missing Link was born out of what we are currently experiencing or seeing and witnessing. Because if you're aware, there are 40,000 marriages pending for divorce.
Yeah.
And we've got 22,000 marriages done and dusted for 2022. Divorced.
Very sad.
So when we did our own surveys, we surveyed about 150 couples just to get the gist of these relationships and what's happening there. And from our discovery, we have discovered that in all these relationships and all these problems that we're having in relationships, maybe you're dating someone, you're married to someone, there are all these issues happening. We discovered that there are certain links which are missing, which people haven't yet discovered.
Okay.
So this book was going to come and bridge that gap. So that's the reason why we even named it The Missing Link. So it's all about discovering the missing link so that you can make your relationship more healthy.
Okay, I have seen there great topics that are in this book. Someone would just think maybe it's about finding somebody or anything, but there are a lot of topics that are covered in this book. I call you the creative mind because you are so versatile. No one can predict you. No one can just box you and say, no, he can only do this or he can only do that. There's a whole lot to you. There's a whole lot that you can do. So tell us more about the book, when it comes to the topics, because I've seen there are quite a lot. How are you coming up with the topics?
Okay, so these links, like I said, there are links which have been there, but all we did was to discover these links, and when we place them where we're supposed to place them, so that people can be able to discover them as well, do a self-introspection of their relationship. If you are going out with someone, you need to evaluate and do a self-introspection about that relationship. Which links amongst these 5 links, which one is missing? And how can we build it? How can we make it better? So mostly it's not something that I've just come up with. No. It's universal, it has been there already. But what we did was just to discover it and bring it in the book so that now we can be able to explain it nicely and be able to put it in a way that will be able to help marriages, which are going to help relationships. So there are links, about 5 links. Would you love me to maybe?
Maybe before we get to the 5 links, you know, a little birdie told me that this is not just a book, but there's also a project, which is a movie. And now this is where now Promise and Pastor Joshua come in.
Yeah.
I don't know, Pastor Joshua, how were you approached, or how were you told about the missing link, and how did you feel about the missing link? Without talking about your character, about the character, we'll get into it later, but just the missing link itself.
Okay, so the missing link, as we've been moving up and down, promoting the launch that we're having in March 4th. So we've been moving up and down in all places and all media places, just trying to explain and encourage couples and relationships out there that no matter what is missing in their life, they can be able to discover according to the missing link, the links that we are having in the book. So you find that there are other couples that are out there, they don't even know taishi womwini, but therefore are open. Again, so in the book you're going to find that there's a place where you have self-love, a missing link, which is just love. When we know in love, you start discovering yourself. What are the colors that I love? What is my favorite food? Before we even get to discover the favorite color for your party. So sometimes you find that problems because I've not known myself. By the time I'm coming to my wife, our problem she will just be upset. You see, because we've not done that survey. So it's very important, even as we are trying to enter in relationships, we discover these links so that we are there. So even in the movie that we're talking about, even there we are like expounding on the links to help couples discover, couple the way I'm living right now. This relationship in this movie is exactly the way my relationship is. So the missing link is all about everything that is happening, our culture, our Christian stuff, everything. So it's combined. It's a full package.
Okay, interesting. Getting to Promise. We've heard a lot of young people talk about Vamala say you can die, but when we read this book, it's quite contrary to that saying. So, have you had a chance of reading this book? I know you're like the right-hand man because you have been moving with the Mr. Nyirongo from this place to that place. So, what are some of the things that you have learned on a personal level about his life? Because I can testify that he's a practical man. He walks his talk. Whatever is written in this book, I've seen him practice that. So for you, what are some of the things that you have learned?
Just in the Bible itself, okay?
Actually, he's the project manager.
Okay, project manager.
So even the Bible itself, it tells you, okay, do not just be the hearer of the word, but then be the what?
The doer.
So putting words to action is what is important. Yeah. So in the first place, like he has mentioned, that I'm the project manager. I'm actually the man that is manning the project for the book, the movie as well. I should just say anything concerning missing link. I am the man spearheading everything. However, coming to the question, like what have you come to
learn on a personal level?
Yeah, to learn on the personal level that I've interacted with him. I think the Bible says iron sharpens iron. And if I personally got to find that he was not a relevant person to be with me, trust me, why would I have been even sitting here on the screen? Okay. But then if somebody is going to come and tell you about marriage, especially marriage circles, okay, I would then look at who is this person talking to me? Okay, I've had an encounter several times that I've visited his home, okay, I have seen the love that lives there. So if he comes to me and he tells me about love, I was going to say, Nyirongo, ikala for Spanish tone. He love ulefu akulinda kwa hii. Itampile kumoa.
Exactly.
It will start from Jerusalem. You understand? Let it start from Jerusalem. So you cannot go out there, you want to tell people to love each other, but then your spouse doesn't even have a glimpse of how it feels like. You understand?
Yeah.
He's somebody that would go out of his way just to make sure that his happiness is expressed in his partner. What am I trying to say? I'm saying it's not about making myself happy, but it's about making myself happy through somebody. You understand?
Yes.
It's like I'm trying to explain what I feel through Joshua. So I want to see myself happy, and then I'm like, okay, how do I make myself happy? I need to see this guy smiling. Okay, now I'm already trying to draw it, how it's going to come out, how am I going to feel. So if I'm going to feel happy, then he should feel happy.
Exactly.
So I would not hate him if I don't want to be hurt. So I've known Nyirongo for some time. I think we met the time that I was actually having my foundation launch. Yeah, actually, this Easterner here is the one that introduced the couple to me. And from then, we've been family. I think we've had a number of events. This is not just, we're going to be talking about the event actually, but this is not the first thing that we've worked on together. We've worked on a number of things, and yeah, it's
been a success.
they're a jovial family. I love him. I love the wife as well. Yeah.
Awakashi, you love your wife?
As a sister.
I love him, and I love the wife as a sister.
So
Awesome. So to the viewers, if
That's
you're
all I have
just
to do.
joining us, this is the Weekly Gospel, and I'm your host, Amazing Katamanda, and I'm joined by 3 great men of God. That's what I call them. They are creative minds. So they are sitting on my right. So I've got Godwin Nyirongo, and I also have Promise Msonda, and I also have Pastor Joshua. So if you have any comments, any contributions, please feel free to come through. We're also live on our Facebook page. Please leave your comments there, and we'll be more than glad to hear from you. And of course, if you would want a copy of this book, or you'd want to attend a launch, we'll give all those details later on. But for now, let's just dive into the 5 links of love. Can we talk about those?
5
links.
missing links.
Beautiful. So discover your missing link. It's a book which has been coined to make sure that we develop, we build healthy relationships. But how do we do that? That's how we came up with these 5 links. What are these 5 links? Very important. So these links are, there's love, communication, money the game changer, sex, there's culture.
Okay.
So these are 5 links. You find that any relationship that you think of in this world, if there are
Right, so
issues,
yeah.
one of these links will be missing.
It's
Now, what is important is to understand how is this link missing in my relationship?
Okay.
Because sometimes you can just hear love, but you know, I'm in love. Eh? I love. How is it missing? So, if I was to talk about love, let's start with love. You know, a lot of people, they say that I'm in love. I'm in love with someone, but they're just in an illusion. They're not in love.
In an illusion.
Yes.
Okay.
It's an illusion because the love that we're talking about, for you to understand love and to be in love, the first thing that you need to discover is self-love.
Yeah.
You need to understand how it feels to love yourself. You need to understand how good it is to respect yourself,
Exactly.
to forgive yourself. Because if you have never discovered how to love yourself, how easy is it going to be for you to love someone else?
It's not easy.
It's like you're getting an empty cup and you want to give
You know,
someone-
because even the Bible tells us that we should love our neighbors as we love ourselves. So meaning it starts with us. It doesn't start with others.
Awesome. And that is biblical. So when God said, love your neighbor as you love yourself, it's like God is trying to tell you that first understand the gist behind loving yourself fully. Because when you're full of love yourself, that's when you'll be able now to give it. Because now love is full. Now you understand how it feels to love yourself. You understand how it feels to take care of yourself. Every Bible, that say, a man shall live. A man to live, meaning that there's that development where you're able to understand now I'm a man.
Yeah.
You know, it's just not growing and no. There's that development of understanding. So in that development, you are developing to love yourself. You are developing to respect yourself. Now, okay, for me to love somebody, I need first to love myself. If you find someone, like for example, if I come and tell you that I love my wife more than myself, it's a lie.
It doesn't exist. It doesn't
That love doesn't exist because you can only give as much as you have.
Exactly.
Do you get what I'm talking about? Now, if I say I love my wife more than myself, where am I getting it from? Because I haven't yet experienced it. Eh? It's like going to take people in a place of worship where I've never been. It's not possible.
You can actually share what you have.
Yes.
You understand? So you cannot share from without. So you share from, I think, just talking about the point that you said, from the abundance of it, okay? So it's a thing where you're building on yourself. So the more you discover each and everything about you, the more you are ready to be corrected.
Okay.
Okay? The more you are ready to confront certain things. Like I said, if you look at those 5 links, you will discover that you may not understand how this is becoming a contributing factor to the existence of what? Of marriage. If you
Or relationship.
definitely all relationships actually. Kuli bali abonsa bali dating out there, especially this week they're calling it a month of love and stuff. Yeah. So you'd find a lot of people are doing wrong things without understanding the right
Actually,
cause.
look at it on Facebook for Valentine Bambi, they've just prepared themselves to give themselves as a sacrifice. Now with Valentine Hapa, I'm the gift, you know, we know the gift.
At least I'm love balafu. Meaning that you haven't yet understood. Because when you get that revelation, the mind that love, it begins with me. That's why we know that God is love.
Yes.
And when God becomes a part of you, you understand love fully. Why? Because God will introduce you to yourself. For you to understand yourself fully, you need God to introduce you back to yourself so that you can be able to love yourself. There are a lot of people who have been in this relationship. You are entering a relationship. You don't even know how it feels to forgive yourself. The bad things that we have done. All of us, the Bible said, for all have sinned.
Yes.
Meaning that all of us will have got our
There's
own
no perfect
dark
human
side.
being.
But what is important is that have you reached a level where you're going to forgive yourself? You are getting into a relationship. You have never even forgiven yourself. Say, I hate the person that I am. I wish I was someone else.
When I look in the mirror,
Now, how do you expect to contribute to that relationship positively? If someone sins against you, are you going to forgive them? Everybody will fight. I can't forgive this one. What they did is I forgive him. Why? Because they haven't yet discovered
The importance.
the importance of forgiving themselves. It's self-love. Because for you to forgive yourself, you need to understand how it feels to have self-love.
Yes.
Self-respect. Are you able to respect yourself or respect others if you can't respect yourself? You start with yourself.
Yeah.
So you find these people are saying, no, blah, no. That's a lie. They're an illusion. They haven't yet understood. They're not yet full of love. Because when you are full of love, then you're going to understand that no, in this love, there needs to be security in love. If you are in a relationship with me, that love needs to have security. How do you build security in that relationship? If you are making you uncomfortable in this relationship, then that relationship is questionable. If me, I'm out there, you're even thinking like, is he alone? Is he with someone
What's
else?
happening?
That means there's something I'm doing in this relationship which is creating that insecurity.
Exactly.
And it's my duty as a man. First, I'm starting with me as a man. It's my duty
Because
to
you
make sure.
are the
that-
head of the house, so we should start with you.
Yeah, as a man, to make sure that I create a conducive environment, which means my family needs to be safe. My wife needs to be first. Myself, I have to be what?
Safe.
Because if I'm not safe, whatever I can
You can't give safety to her.
I can't give safe to her. What safe am I going to give to her? But Veranda, no, it's okay. But I fail to understand that.
So how are you going to?
It's not balancing.
Because you need to work. You need
Yes.
to push so that you can provide better. So as much as you need your family, your wife to be fed, to be okay, make sure that you eat. That's self-love. Self-love, you take care of yourself as you take care of others. Because by taking care of yourself, you are learning how to take care of what? Of others. That's why a person who has never discovered how to love themselves, they are not ready for marriage. They're not ready for love. Run away. If someone tells you, if you leave me, I'll die. Run. That is a problem.
It's a problem, a huge
Actually,
problem.
in Iran, you don't have Piamu.
Because they got today or because that person hasn't yet understood what self-love is.
Okay.
Because a person like me, God forbid, even if I was to find that my wife is cheating on me, I can't kill them.
God forbid, yeah?
God forbid. I know she's a very,
Very important.
But I was just saying, in an event, someone told me that the way you love your wife, the way you love your wife, well, that's like you understand? But when you have discovered yourself, you've discovered self-love, you're able to understand. People are people. Meaning, the way I can make mistakes, that's the same way my wife can do. Do you get what I'm talking about?
Exactly.
She's not different from me. I'm a human being, she's a human being.
Yes.
So, as men, most of the time, we treat ourselves to be the righteous people. We treat you as perfect. Women, we treat them as what? As perfect individuals. That's why you find that when a man finds something like that, they end up shooting. Boop, boop, which is not supposed to be. Because they are lacking self-love.
Oh, I
Now, when you've got self-love, you're able to understand that people are people. They need to develop. They need to grow. You need to nurture them. So self-love is very much important, and it's at the bedrock of every relationship. That's why I encourage and I tell people, when you're in a relationship, someone doesn't have self-love, self-respect, security, make sure run away.
Okay, so I have a question, but first, before I even ask, I must admit that the first time I saw you and your wife expressing love for each other was
My sugar baby.
that's what you call her, your sugar baby. When you express love for each other was on TV, and for me, it just felt like, true love doesn't exist. Like, this is just fake. They are just doing it for the cameras. So the first time I visited your home, you know, I was very much conscious of everything that was happening. I was just trying to pay attention. Like, now let's see the real them. But it turned out whatever I saw on TV is actually what it is, even in reality.
You went for a statement.
I had no choice. I mean, I'm just admitting. I'm just admitting. I was just paying attention. Like, okay, let's see what's happening here. And I have seen. This is why I'm saying you walk your talk. For you, it's not just about talking, but you practice what you preach, you walk what you preach, which is very important. But now talking about self-love, when do we draw a thin line, or when can we tell to say, okay, this is now selfishness or this is love? Because there's some people who are just self-centered. They just make everything about themselves. Like, it's just me. Even in a marriage, it's just me. There's this thing when you've talked about finances, like money, the game changer. We have women that believe his money is our money, but my money is my money. So when do you like draw the thin line to say, okay, now this is selfishness, this is not just self-love, it has now passed the stage of self-love, it's now selfishness? When can we tell?
Awesome. And that's which is very paramount and very important question. People need to draw a line. They need to understand these two things. When you've got self-love, the reason why you're building that self-love is because I want to love you better. You understand? Now, selfishness has got no intentions of loving you.
Okay.
You understand what I'm talking about? It's just me. I just care about me and me. It ends there. But the self-love we're talking about, that self-love whereby, see, how do I love Katamanda better? First, I need to love myself so that I can transmit the same love to her. Meaning that if I want good things for me, I should think of the same way for me. You get what I'm talking about? If I want to have a good life, I should think of the same way for what? For others. So how do I think of good life for others if I haven't yet first thought of that for myself? You know what I'm talking about? But selfishness is whereby you just want to get all of it yourself, and you've got no that thought for others. That's selfish. That's not love, actually. It's not even love, not even a bit near to what? To love. Because that is toxic. We live in a world where there are people where we need to express our love genuinely. So selfishness is something that just evil. I can say it's evil. Why? Because they don't have that feeling of thought for others. But true love, the self-love we're talking about, is the one where you build that self-love for the betterment of others. So whenever you just hear of self-love, we say build this self-love for others. When you love yourself, I will love Katamanda better. If I love myself, I'll love Pastor Josh better. I'll love my wife better. That's why you have seen that in my home, I'm able to express that love genuinely because it's my lifestyle. I've built it. I know how it feels to have it. I know how it feels to be full of what? Of love. Now I'm able to love my children. I'm able to love my wife. I'm able to love my friends. That's why for me, I really much treasure relationships because I say that relationships are more important than what? Money.
Awesome, very interesting.
Just
so,
to add on,
yes.
to add on what he's talking about, some of the things that we forget as we are entering into a relationship or marriage is that like the way they say it, be careful, promise. You drown. So if you are loving Katamanda, make sure you just love half. If you put in the you die because I give you for disappointment. No, doesn't do it like that. If you enter into a relationship in that manner, already you are already putting it that this is going to fail. Already you are putting it that it won't work if you put it like that. Imagine if Jesus Christ was like, then we wouldn't have been even here because you don't have expressed love. Love, when being expressed, is I won't say. You are there, you are putting it out there, not your poverty. If you just find marriage in 9 days in Chipata, Yes.
Actually, those are not ready for relationships. Because if someone says that no, I'm going to in love, put in at least maybe 50% or 60%, leave room for disappointment. Those people are not ready because they haven't yet discovered how to love themselves. Can you love yourself partly?
No, you can't.
Can you love yourself? No,
you can't.
You love yourself fully.
Part time.
A part time. So if you hear someone say something like that, they're not yet ready for a relationship. That's why we heard that the shortest marriage was for
lasted for 9 days.
9 days, they discovered they were not compatible.
No, you are entering into a relationship without discovering yourself.
So they stayed longer in the relationship than marriage. Yeah, which is very dangerous.
Because the
Very,
marriage
very
true reality of you.
Definitely, it comes out, you know.
Okay.
People prepare for what? For a wedding.
But not the wedding. It's
Not
the marriage itself.
So you find that when
They
now
prepare
they're
for the
married,
ceremony.
now real life has started.
And then new life starts.
Yeah.
And
And the other thing that we forget is that love develops. You have to work on it. You have to develop it. As you are developing it, as you are working on it together, then you are maturing and you are taking it somewhere. After wedding, after mashana, no, it's not automatic.
It's work.
It's
Work.
work.
Relationship is
You have
work.
to build it.
Actually, the thing is this, like he's saying, that you need to work it out, okay? The thing is this, the first step, discover yourself. Who are you? Okay? What do you like? What do you hate? Okay? It's a waste of time for you to start looking for a partner for the lack of better terms. Munguru. And then what do you like? No. I think that's it's just a sheer waste of time. Discover yourself, know what you like and what you don't like. So you've got all the ample time in life when you are going into a relationship. Okay, you are sharing your ideas, you are selling your visions to somebody that you are planning to share the rest of your life with. I always tell people, if you are intending to marry, you should always go in marriage with only one thought: no repeat to what I'm about to do. If I will ever remarry, then let death be a reason. You understand? Nomba olefa okupa na ukwata kale na provision B. You get like
If it doesn't work, I have plan B.
Mona, if you not kweva kota ofa okuchinga. Nko perfume B. You get. So even when you're sleeping on your bed, you already have the repeat mind in you.
And if you continue planting that seed in her, it's dangerous.
You get.
Actually, that has got consequences. When you're in a relationship, you keep on saying, no, I'll leave you. If you continue like this,
You're planting
planting a seed of failure. And that's very dangerous. A person who has understood self-love, they can never say that. Because they know that you are planting a seed of failure. You are planting insecurity in your partner. They are not self. And insecurity is not love. Love builds security.
Definitely.
And that's what I'm talking about.
So it's actually action oriented. You understand? Love, even when you don't say that I love you, it can still show by itself. How you're taking care of somebody, what you're doing to somebody. It's like you feel it. You understand? Here's the thing: you've got a fine job. Okay, you've got a fine salary.
Yeah.
The only thing you want, your wife or your spouse doesn't even know the traffic rules. You understand? Now, if truly you love yourself and you love your partner, in an event that so you're just the two of you and your wife, and then assume 02, you are sick to an extent where you can't even move an inch.
Your wife doesn't know how to.
I'm a phone such that you can't book any of these rides. You understand? Now the question is, who is going to call who to drive who? Your wife cannot even drive. So the question should be, now in that state that you can't even move, do you love yourself? If you do, were you not supposed to impact the level of knowledge, the level of skill in your partner, so that in an event that I'm unable to execute these duties, if, God forbid, today I died, I've always been telling my wife this, to say, you see, I always want to see me in you, and to see you in me, so that if, suppose God takes me first, my children should never feel that we are orphans. Dad is still with mom. You understand? Because whatever dad could do, mom can do. So that is what we are calling self-love. You are sharing it. So if you sit down with your partner and you begin to tell them to draw up the plan about your life. Okay, this is who I am. This is what I want to be. What is it you want to? What are your aspirations? They share their dreams with you. You begin to work around those areas.
Building it together.
Not to Aisa Panganda. Now,
So promise, are you in love with your wife?
With
Your wife.
my wife. You can just
Yeah, so you understand self-love.
Yeah, he does
You get?
understand. Yeah.
So that's the whole thing. When I Salama jean, you've come with a pair of jeans at home, huh? Now check from January to June, you're just buying yourself clothes. Your wife, no, you know, you're not engaged in a number of activities. You
I'm
go
the
for
one
work,
that goes out
you know,
there.
someone to look okay.
Yes.
Actually, a good relationship, you're supposed, like, you asked about my money.
Hey, my money is my money.
A
That's
good relationship, when you, because the Bible says the two shall become one.
One.
So you need to understand that gimmick. If immediately you start saying my money is my money, his money is our money, then there's
already
problem.
there's a problem.
Because you need to understand what oneness means. People don't need to see the difference between you and the husband, the wife. Even me, when I married my wife was getting a lot of money than me. Do you know that my wife was the person who was paying for our house rent for 3 years?
Wow.
You don't say.
Wow.
But no one in my family knows that until I speak.
Now you know. You've heard it on TV. They've heard it on TV.
He
I'm
was
sure
under
they're
abuse.
watching.
He was under abuse. He was being kept.
You know what I'm talking about? Because her salary was more than mine. But she didn't say my money, your money, our money. No. We had put together. As a family. And we say, oh, okay, then we're going to use this money for this. We plan together. Because when you love each other, you plan together. You enjoy life together.
Okay, so it's obvious that there are a lot of links that are missing in people's marriages. Right now, I feel like I'm in the council of the elders. The council of the elders. But I hope that you're enjoying the show so far. If you have any comments, any contributions, please feel free to text us or go on our Facebook page, leave your comments there, and let's just get interactive. We are talking to Godwin Nyirongo, Promise Msonda, and Pastor Joshua, and we are talking about the book, The Missing Link. And it's not just a book, they are also producing a movie, which is a very interesting one. So maybe, I don't know who can take it up. I think you should go to him. Promise I have a question for him just later on.
You've got a question?
Yes, let me get to the producer, the director, and yes, the overall, the big mind, the creative mind himself, the lover man. Yes, the lover man. How did this book branch off to becoming a movie? How did the idea come about? Because we know that you have your hands tied, you've got work, you've got a family, and if there's something that I admire about you so much is the fact that you know how to divide your time. You know when to hang out with just your sugar baby, where you just have time for the two of you, then you also have time for the family with the boys and everything. So I just want to know, how did the movie come about? Because it seems like your hands are full. There's the movie, there's the book, and then you are a family man, you are a husband, and also a son-in-law. Yes, so how did the movie come about? Because it looked like these things are a lot to do. How?
Yeah, no, thanks for that question. Because my passion and my wife's passion is to see marriages and relationships become better and healthier. So we looked at the book and the content. The content of the book, how beautiful it is, how good it is, and then we say, how can we spread it to all? Because we find that some people might not love maybe just to read.
Yeah, they are not into reading.
They're not into reading because they find it more time
Consuming.
So we said, how do we be able to cater for every individual, every person, to be able to take part of this good stuff that is embedded in this book? So the first thing that we thought of was to come up with an audio book. So an audio book, we're producing that audio book will be done before the launch, so that people who can't read but they can listen to it. Maybe they're driving, they're playing it, and it's changing lives. So again, we thought about how do we go further? Because you might find that others, maybe they don't want even to listen, they love watching stuff. That's how a movie came in. Let's translate whatever is in the book into a movie, so that we can be able to reach a lot of lives. If we can't change someone by reading, let's help them be changed by watching, because other people just love watching movies. So as they're watching, they'll discover, oh, so this link is also missing.
This couple is
like what we're going through. How do we build our relationship? Oh, now Oh, okay, because even that story is there. You're able to see, oh, okay, it's not about your wife, because certain relationships, they don't survive if a woman is getting a lot of money than a man. They feel intimidated. And that book will be able to help you. That when God said you're a leader of the house, there's got nothing to do with money. No. It has got something to do with leadership. So I provided leadership, but my wife was getting more money. You get what I'm talking about? She understood the role, I understood my role. Now, people, they don't understand rules. You know, when God built or created marriage, He had put rules in it. So these rules are very much important for people to understand. And that book will be able to read about rules and understand what's the place for a woman, what's the place for a man, and how do we coexist. Because me and my wife, she's not lesser than me, but me and my husband. No. It's just that we've got different rules, but we are the same.
And I think in your home, there's nothing like behind every man there's a successful. It's like you people work together. You work hand in hand. She's here. She's not behind. She's right.
That's why I've told my wife, stop work now. I want to make sure that she gets the masters that I'm getting. I want her to concentrate. She does school. She has toiled for a long period of time. She has toiled for me. She has toiled for her family. I want her to relax now. I told her, no. This year I want you first to stop the work stuff. Just concentrate on this area. Just like he said, I can't be getting your masters and my wife, she's still there. No. Even as she needs to watch. To rise. Okay. So I just want to relax. Shopping. It's a time.
She just enjoys her life. Okay, so now get into promise. I believe before accepting any project that comes on your table, there are things that you have to consider.
Definitely.
So when the link came on your table, what are some of the things that you looked at that made you feel like I can actually be the manager of this project?
So the first thing I would say is even before he actually approached me.
That's a good question.
Yeah. Even before he actually approached me, he would attest to that. That I'm kind of a person who is tough on certain things.
Okay.
Especially when I get the broader perspective of something. Yeah. So I'm not a short-sighted person when I'm looking at certain projects. I would look at the first thing is I would look at what's the impact. Okay. How is this thing going to influence people out there? So if I discover it is something that is self-centered, I don't get engaged. That's the way I am. I think I have turned down a number of offers.
Okay.
But then if I discover that, okay, I think on this project, the very first thing that is we are focusing on is to bring out the best from people out there or in people out there, then I feel like, okay, if I am called to change lives and transform lives, then my services will be appreciated on this. So it's not going to be counted to say is the author alone, but then this is not just a one-man show. It needs the comprehensive of other efforts you get. So you compliment on that. So when it came to my desk, I read the book. So his wife was the first person to read the book. I was the second person to read the book. So when I read it, of course there are a few things that I had to go through my personal life. Like, okay, I think on this as well, I need to improve. You understand? I think I need to improve on this. And right now, as I'm telling you, my wife, she's reading the book.
Oh,
you understand?
Awesome.
So last night, she was even telling me to say, babe, I'm reading. Not good. Keep on. You understand? So one other thing, which is very, very much important, like I made mention, I said, when you are going up, be it a man, be it a woman, make sure your partner is tagging along. So do not be so selfish and self-centered to acquire so much knowledge so that you can rule, you can govern. It is very dangerous. You should understand that immediately you get a PhD and you want to leave your wife at a diploma level, you should know that you are two different people. And then you are not going to collide at a point of the PhD people because the things that you begin to bring out are things that she cannot contemplate. So what I was saying, if you love yourself so much, you try by all means to make the other copy of you. I should make mention that my wife, she's the other copy of me. You get?
Yes.
Yeah. So I looked at the broader picture of it. I looked at how the movies out there are going to impact the community. I looked at how the books are going. I should proudly mention that when I was actually tabling a meeting over the book yesterday. I met some beautiful people out there that actually went on to read the book and they endorsed it to take it actually to Romania. So the book will actually be even going to Romania.
Just this morning.
Yeah.
When we met there.
Definitely. You get, so I even made him to meet and then just be able to understand how far I've gone about it.
Okay.
So in this one, in this whole project, I'm not really just concentrating on one-sided stuff. I really need to make sure that, okay, the corporate people out there do understand. Yeah, you can be so hardworking and stuff, but then if your home is not in good shape, trust me, your hard work out there is gonna just be nothing. Yeah, so that's it from my end and my side.
Okay.
Yeah, I look at the broader picture of it.
Time is not really on our side. We have to wind up. But before we do that, Pastor Joshua, when you saw the script of the movie,
The marketing.
we didn't know that you are an actor. But now we know. Well, so looking at the script, what's one thing that got you so fascinated that made you think, put aside the title of pastor? Because we know most of the times pastors reserve themselves from doing certain things because they feel like, because I'm a pastor, I cannot do this. But for you, you went on board. So what is the thing that you saw that made you feel, you know what, I cannot afford not to be part of this project?
Okay, the first thing is it was a bit challenging. Even the director can tell you it was a bit challenging. I almost gave up. I think I won't manage. The first thing is the background of my church, the church that I come from. They're a bit difficult and tough on pastors. For them just to ordain you, perhaps tell them about 4 years from when you come from school, they don't consider you as a pastor. Not if you're going to just from school and say no, pastor, no. They'll make sure they test you again. With your diploma, they put it aside. They test you again. They make you go through the doctrine. So when the opportunity came about the missing link to say this is what is on the table, I had to listen and everything. And the director said, this is the part that I want you to play. I was like, what are they going to say? So when he explained everything and told me that my wife would be on board, then I was like, so it's good that I'm acting with my wife. And
that's interesting.
we're doing something practical that a lot of lives are going through. And I know that apart from my music and apart from what I do, I'm going to touch lives even through my acting, because it will be a practical example of what I'm going through or what other people are going through. And it's good that most of the things that my wife and I are acting is actually things that we do. Already. So it's
so you're raising it, it's easy for you to even get into character because it's just being yourself.
It's part of what we do even at home. So it's good. And I can just say people should just
be on the lookout. People should just be on the lookout.
It will be massive.
Yeah, so everything that we're doing
outside of this world.
So in everything that is happening, I'm also part of the team. I'm on the marketing side. Is
marketing manager.
So me, I'm marketing this, starting everything, the book, the like and everything. So we don't only have a book and a movie. We've got also music that is coming from the chapters. So each chapter of the book has got a song. Yeah, I'm sure you heard one of the songs.
I heard one of the songs.
So people should just have a look out for Boomplay. The missing link could be on Boomplay everywhere. Our Facebook page is there, and on 4th March we're having a book launch to be a dinner, to be amazing, red carpet things, especially couples and relationships. You need to be there.
Okay, so there are people that would want to get the book. They would also want to attend the launch because we're winding up. You can't give us phone numbers, but just tell us where we can find you, where we can get the book, and just get more information about the launch.
Okay, so like we've said, the launch is set for 4th of March. Of course, it's going to be my birthday.
Interesting.
Yeah. So 4th of March, we are launching the Discover the Missing Link. It's going to be at the Radisson Blue Hotel, Great East Road, just opposite Arcades. So 18 to 22 hours, we are going to be there. So tickets are on sale, of course, and I should make mention that we've made a good number of sales out there. So we've got a diamond ticket, which is the gold ticket is going at 750, and then we've got a diamond, which is going at 1,000. So I want people to get it clearly that 750 is just for a single person. Like we say, this is a dinner setup. It's a 3-course meal. Yeah. So besides that night we're going to be launching a book. Yeah. So the prices of the tickets, I will repeat once more. It's 750 and 1,000. And of course, for the phone numbers, they can obviously...
We're not giving out phone numbers. You can just give us a Facebook page.
Cool. So
yes.
people can actually access our contacts through the missing link.
Okay.
Yeah, so if they go on Facebook, they'll just search for the missing link, and they'll find it there. So,
Okay. So what's on the, because the other time I was trying to search for missing link, there were a lot of pages that came. What's on the, what's
there's
the
a book
profile?
actually there.
Okay.
So you just type the missing link, and then the book will pop up there.
Okay. So
Yeah,
it looks like they say.
Of course, you can even use the hashtag. You always say, discover your missing link.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's going to be on the 4th of March, 18 to 22. And yeah, I would go on and mention our sponsors as well.
We can follow that for, we can follow
Cool.
more
On the page.
on
All
the
right,
page.
all right.
Yes, but thank you so very much for coming, gentlemen.
humbled.
Before I just allow you to go, maybe your closing remarks and yeah, anything else.
You would start with Mr. Nyiroma.
He'll be the last one.
He'll be
Maybe
last
start from Pastor George.
Okay.
Just a few minutes. I'm not giving you a whole lot of
Okay.
minutes.
Continue supporting us. Thank you so much, Camnic TV, for inviting us as well. And we know this is our home. Every time that we've got events and everything, we always come here. It's good that as Christians, even us, we've got somewhere where we can, like you say, we can be able to go there with Mama. Yeah, so thank you so much for just having us.
Okay. No, you're welcome. On behalf of the pastors, you're welcome. I promise, Msonda.
Love is action oriented.
Love is?
Action oriented.
Oh, okay.
Don't just say it in words. Show it in action.
Okay.
It's very important. For God so loved the world. What was the
That
next
he
thing he did?
gave.
He gave. So he expressed his love
By
for us
giving.
by giving. What did he give us? He gave us life.
Okay.
That is which is enough for human. So every time we're living out there, every time you want to go into someone's life, please do understand yourself very well.
Okay.
Because if you do, like he mentioned in his statements, respect is reciprocal. You give it, it will come back to you. Don't just command it. Don't just demand it. Give it, it will come back to you.
Okay.
So give love, love will come back to you.
Awesome.
Yeah. So above all, always remember to be a peacemaker.
Be a peacemaker. You are a peacemaker. I can testify. In you know, inverted commas.
I know.
Okay, so director, obviously there are people maybe that are thinking you're giving out free ticket or free book. Are there such things?
Yeah, at the end of when you're about to.
So we've got 2 weeks.
So they should follow the
They should
page
follow
for
the
more.
link for the missing link actually. They can search for the missing link. They can search for the NG page.
Okay.
They can search for PJ Joshua's
Joshua,
or
Promise, all
Promise.
those
Yeah.
ones.
So on all these pages, you'll be
Yeah,
able to find
be
that.
able to
Yeah,
find
and
the
then we're going to
information.
have the dish out of at least 2 or 3 tickets we can give out.
Okay.
Prior
All
to the
right.
event.
Okay, so Mawuya Lasty from the wise man, the creative man.
Yeah.
Just a few
I'm
words.
really humbled. I'm really humbled. What I would love to say is that there is no person who's destined to fail in relationships, and the solutions to that has been brought at your table. I've told people before that if you get this book and your life or relationship doesn't change, bring it back, we'll find you.
Oh,
Because there's that
That's
assurance.
serious.
It's something that is tested and seen. Because our mission is to make sure that lives change, relationships become better. That is our core mission.
okay. So thank you so very much, team. We'll see you on the 4th of March for the book launch. Thank you so very much for joining me this morning, and I'm wishing you all the best and God's blessings.
Thank
Okay.
you so much. Thank you.
Okay, and to the viewers, thank you so very much for joining us, and not forgetting the pastors for giving us this platform to just express God's love through music, through books, through poet. So if you would want to be featured on the show, you are an author and you deal with Christian books. We don't deal with any secular things on Camnic TV. It's all about the gospel. So if you are into gospel, you write books, or a poet or a musician, please feel free to get in touch with us, and we'll get to feature you on the show, because this is what the show is all about: preaching the gospel and reaching out to people. We are big on Jesus, and we love reaching out to people because God himself showed us what love was all about, and this is what we are trying to practice. But anyway, this is what we have to say our goodbyes. Thank you so very much for joining us. We are excited for the book launch, so make sure that you follow the missing link page for any details or any info that you might have missed out on. And don't worry, if you're just joining us, worry not. You can catch the repeats of this show on Monday at 10:45. So you haven't quite missed a lot. And you can still find the recorded show on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. So for now, this is what I have to say my goodbye on behalf of Isaac, Chifita, and Amos. My name is Amazing Katamanda. Goodbye. God bless you. Keep it locked to Camden TV, even as I leave you with a song titled Tower from the NG Exhorters.